Hi, everybody. I'm Barry Gresham. We welcome you into Govs Insider here with the head coach of the Austin Peay State University Governors, Coach Rick Christophel. And, Coach, as we get back together this week, it was homecoming week this past Saturday, and it was a furious second-half rally by the Govs. Came up short against a pretty good Southeast Missouri team.
They are. They're well coached. We said it last week, and they do everything that they're supposed to do to win a football game. And if you make mistakes, as we did the other day, it costs you. And you can't dig yourself out of the hole all the time, Barry. You just got to try to get in front every once in a while.
And we talked about that a lot each week. Falling behind early, it happened again in this game. We'll have all the highlights coming up a little bit later, but you got behind, and as you started to make your rally in the second half, you had some turnover issues, which built that hole, dug yourself even deeper, but you almost got out of it.
We did, and we were talking before we got on the air. We had 3 fumbles in the second half, all resulted in 17 points.
Yeah.
And that's all the points they scored in the second half. And you know, something that we haven't been able to get offensively is a short field. The short field that they had 2 short fields. Well, I said 1 short field on the punt, and then the other one they picked up and ran. So it just you got to create those things, and they did, and we didn't.
And the rhythm of the offense really got going in the second half. You kept that Red Hawk defense on the field. They started wearing down, but one of your better offensive days of the year, Jake Ryan had a big day. Devin Stark, Rico Williams, your big 3 came through.
They did, and we said all along, you got to get the ball in the playmaker's hands, and Jake's doing a great job. The last 4 weeks, we were talking about this. I think he's had 7 or 9 touchdown passes and 2 picks. That's what you want. But he's been in the 60, the 50, the high 50s and low 60% percentage rate of completion. And Devin's been playing well, and then Rico came out and just had an extraordinarily good game.
Yeah, and Devin Stark, you know, we've talked about him really all year. A lot of the scouts have kept their eye on him, and he's delivered this year in a big way.
He has, and made some nice plays the other day. And the good thing about Devin, he's strong. He's good after the catch. You know, he's got some what we call YAC, yards after catch, or yards after contact. And he again proved that on Saturday.
Well, for the Govs, the game against Southeast Missouri was the homecoming game. They're back home for the 2nd straight week. We're going to talk about the upcoming opponent Saturday as they'll play Culver Stockton. But this OVC race, you're going to step out of it for 1 week, but you get right back into it the final 2 weeks, and it's been crazy this year.
It really has. And, you know, we talked about Eastern Illinois early, and they go to Richmond, Kentucky, and beat Eastern Kentucky. And I said all along that the place that they've improved the most on defense. And I really believe that, and Dino's doing a great job up here. But the whole conference has become more physical, and it's good to see that kind of football in our conference.
So we'll take a check of the OVC race, get you up to date on that, and then we'll look at all the highlights this week as the Govs in the homecoming game against the Red Hawks. So stay with us right here on Govs Insider.
You can only learn so much from listening to lecture. That's why our professors invite students to work with them outside the classroom. From finding solutions to biofuel problems that limit green energy potential, to developing a mobile app that lets first responders use cell phones to document the damage of disasters, to curating art shows with world-class creatives who share their New York know-how in the classroom and in the Big Apple. Our students enjoy the kinds of opportunities here that lead to more opportunities out there. Austin Peay State University.
Was your budget ready for the rising gas prices? Was your car fuel efficient? Don't let unpredictable utility rates catch you off guard. Gas and electric rates have increased over 25% in the last 5 years. Will you be ready for the next increase?
Dawson Heating and Cooling knows energy prices are unpredictable. Count on Lennox products from Dawson and save. Dawson, where quality matters since 1972. Get up to $13.75 in rebates or special financing.
One of the things that I really like to do is when people come in and they're looking for a particular product, we can take fabric and put it on a certain frame and do a custom look. Our sales staff is all very well educated in helping you put certain fabrics on certain frames. I really enjoy this. I like to work with people that kind of think outside of the box. Please come by Herb Hayes Furniture, 2519 Fort Campbell Boulevard, Hopkinsville.
Psychiatric Consultants of Tennessee, providing the Fort Campbell, Clarksville area with comprehensive, compassionate, and professional care. We provide medication management and counseling for all ages. At Psychiatric Consultants, most major insurance is accepted, including Medicare, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and TRICARE. Psychiatric Consultants of Tennessee. Call 221-9990.
And welcome back. The Govs played the Red Hawks of Southeast Missouri this past Saturday, and Coach, we talked about what a great job Tony Samuel has done there in Cape Girardeau. He won the league a couple of years ago, and he's got a young quarterback. He's grooming him much like he did Matt Scheibel that won him that title. They've got a pretty good team. We keep talking about it. We saw what they can do if they can control really time of possession, and they did that in the first half.
They most certainly did. We couldn't get off the field, and we made a couple mistakes on the first drive. We tried to answer and got ourselves a holding penalty, and then, of course, a sack after that. And then they took the ball right back down the field and made it 14-0. You know, before you know it, before you can even breathe, then we're behind again.
Let's take a look at the highlights from the first half as the Govs playing their homecoming game. A little bit cold, a little bit windy that day, but the crowd came out, and this caps off their opening drive. They go 14 plays, 72 yards. Levi Terrell, their outstanding tailback, scores. Their PAT puts them up 7-0.
Yeah, and we made a big mistake in that first drive. We had them sacked and then had them for a loss, and we made a crucial penalty that cost us and hurt us early in the game.
Here's a nice hookup on your first series. Jake Bryan, who had a big day, hits Devin Stark, 9-yard reception here. This drive, though, it kind of bogged down with a penalty and a sack, and you stalled in SEMO territory.
It did. And we had to give the ball up, and, of course, when we give it up to them, you know, it causes us problems.
Here's a back-breaking play. No contain there for Lathrop. He breaks free, 67 yards for the touchdown, puts them up 14-0.
Yeah, and it was on a pass play, you know, and believe it or not, I think we had a blitz called, and he just got underneath the containment and then ran the rest of the way.
So you're in a hole, and you have to fight out of it. It's a familiar place that you've been in, but this is one of your better drives of the day, and you established the big guy, Rico Williams.
Yeah, he came out. It was what they say is his coming out party. He carried the ball well, and he caught the ball well. That's the thing that Rico does, and a lot of people don't understand that.
That was a 19-yard run that time by the big fella. And then here, off to the left, 15-yard rush. So you mixed it up, running and passing.
We've done a good job of that. I thought our offensive staff did a great job with their game plan the other day.
Here's the great play call, one of the highlights of the year, this double lateral. Take us through it.
Well, they called it hawk, and it's just they throw it to Devin Stark, who was a quarterback in high school. He throws it back to Jake, and Jamar Emery just kind of leaks down there, and he's wide open.
PAT by Steven Stansel, 14-7. You're right there in this one. The crowd into it after the big trick play. But again, they're able to march it down the field. They go to their big fullback, Ron Coleman, a 2-yard touchdown. They answer right back and go up 21-7.
Go up 21-7, and, you know, again, you're fighting from behind, and it's tough to do all the time. And, you know, you got to get some short field to get you some easy scores, and you'd like to see your defense score every once in a while.
You have a 3-and-out after this. You do stop them here, force them into a long field goal, but Drew Geldbach is up for the task, 49-yarder.
Yeah, their guys kicking the ball through the uprights, and that makes a difference as you go in later in the game.
Another 3-and-out by the Govs, and it leads to Lathrop, their quarterback. He's actually going to fumble on this play, but he recovers his own fumble and he gets in.
That's the epitome, you know, the epitome of this season. They had 2 or 3 fumbles. They get them all back. We have 2 or 3 fumbles, and we lose all 3 of them. Barry.
So as they knock home their point after attempt, 31-7 will be the score at the half. And that drive right at the end, they go 11 plays, 84 yards. Again, we talk about your defense all the time they spent on the field in that first half.
I don't know how many plays they were on there. It had to be like 40-something plays, 45 plays. They had 70 plays in the game, I think, and I think 45 or 50 of them were in the first half. So, again, we stayed on the field too long. We said all week long we had to play responsibility defense. And when we had breakdowns on the running game, it was because we had a breakdown in responsibility. And it had nothing to do with our game plan or our scheme, and it showed in the second half, but we didn't play very good responsibility football in the first half.
Red Hawks, as we mentioned, they had the lead in that first half going into the break 31-7. They scored on every possession, and they came out and played the way you thought they would. If you couldn't get off the field, they were going to continue to march it down there. They don't throw it a lot,
No.
But they have a very good rushing attack.
Yeah, they do. I think they ended up with 416 yards rushing. You know, they ended up with about 399 net. The bad thing about it is, and I'm not big on stats, but after the game, I saw we had more yards per offense per play, and we had more yards offensively. And that's, you know, again, you think that's a game you're going to win, but we didn't.
Well, the Govs were down big at the half, but they came back fighting after a couple of turnovers. They had a big hole in the second half. We've got some great highlights coming up as Jake Ryan hooks up with Devin Stark and Rico Williams has a big second half. So all of that coming up a little bit later with our highlights. We'll take a break now. We'll come back and we'll have our Hall of Fame segment coming up next here on Govs Insider.
Psychiatric Consultants of Tennessee, providing the Fort Campbell, Clarksville area with comprehensive, compassionate, and professional care. We provide medication management and counseling for all ages. At Psychiatric Consultants, most major insurance is accepted, including Medicare, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and TRICARE. Psychiatric Consultants of Tennessee. Call 931-221-9990.
Was your budget ready for the rising gas prices? Was your car fuel efficient? Don't let unpredictable utility rates catch you off guard. Gas and electric rates have increased over 25% in the last 5 years. Will you be ready for the next increase?
Dawson Heating and Cooling knows energy prices are unpredictable. Count on Lennox products from Dawson and Save. Dawson, where quality matters since 1972. Get up to $13.75 in rebates or special financing.
You'll find Austin Peay situated in the heart of Clarksville, Tennessee. But our reach goes far beyond our main campus. From our programs in Dixon and Springfield, to our satellite campus at Fort Campbell, to online programs students can complete from anywhere in the world, we're committed to providing higher education to every career shifter, ladder climber, military service member, graduate student, and traditional college student who desires the opportunity. Austin Peay State University. More opportunities here, more opportunities out there.
Hi, this is Peg at Herb Hayes Furniture in Hopkinsville, and we're in our mattress department. When you're buying a new mattress, it can be really confusing because you're buying an upholstered box and you really might not know what's in there or how to make a good judgment on that. Come in and we'll custom fit you for a new mattress. We'll help you find what's comfortable and a great value at the right price. Plus, we'll dispose of your old bedding when we bring your new set. And when you shop with us, we'll take the mystery out of mattress buying. And thanks for shopping Herb Hayes Furniture.
And welcome back to Govs Insider. Time for our weekly Hall of Fame segments brought to you by Herb Hayes Furniture in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. They've got a lot going on Halloween week and even more coming up prior to the big shopping madness, that Black Friday that's coming up. So go by and visit them in Hopkinsville or visit their showroom online at hayesfurniture.com. And this week we're going to feature one of the outstanding track and field athletes here at Austin Peay as we look back at the Hall of Fame induction video of Aisha Maycock.
this is Peg at Herb Hayes Furniture in Hopkinsville. Here are some great reasons to come and shop with us. Since 1961, we've been helping people make better selections, get better prices, get just exactly what you need, and then we'll deliver it. We promise you get the best service, and we always have great things to look at when you come here. If you don't see something in our showroom floors, well, we have lots of ways to special order, so we look forward to helping you with your new home furnishings at Herb Hayes Furniture in Hopkinsville.
Psychiatric Consultants of Tennessee, providing the Fort Campbell, Clarksville area with comprehensive, compassionate, and professional care. We provide medication management and counseling for all ages. At Psychiatric Consultants, most major insurance is accepted, including Medicare, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and TRICARE. Psychiatric Consultants of Tennessee. Call 931-221-9990.
Was your budget ready for the rising gas prices? Was your car fuel efficient? Don't let unpredictable utility rates catch you off guard. Gas and electric rates have increased over 25% in the last 5 years. Will you be ready for the next increase?
Dawson Heating and Cooling knows energy prices are unpredictable. Count on Lennox products from Dawson and Save. Dawson, where quality matters since 1972. Get up to $13.75 in rebates or special financing.
This is where Vincent got the chance to cross the pond so he could study universal healthcare in London, where Chris conducted amphibian research that helped him land a research assistantship tracking threatened toads through Yosemite National Park, where Claire studied breast cancer cells and built the resume required to earn a genetics research internship at Germany's internationally renowned Max Planck Institute. This is Austin Peay State University. More opportunities here, more opportunities out there.
And welcome back. We last left you. It was halftime. Southeast Missouri had a big first half, scoring on all their possessions. They were up 31-7. And Coach, so you go in at halftime in the locker room after a couple of 3 and outs. They score both times. You're in a big hole. It's homecoming, but I like the attitude the guys came out of the locker room with.
They did. They came out. We just said we got to stick to our business and make some stops and score some points. And there's no sense of going in there. We've been there a couple, 3 times, and you go in there and you start yelling and screaming and everything like that. It doesn't work. So you gotta go in there and just stay composed and go out and get your job done.
Let's look at the highlights now from the second half as the Govs begin their comeback. But it was a rough start early here on this opening series. You get it first in the second half. Here's Jake hooking up with Devin Stark for 14 yards. So a good, promising start, but we're starting now these next couple of plays to see the turnovers.
We did. You know, we take the ball down the field on the first drive, and we're in good shape, and then we fumble the ball. And, you know, it was a nice run, but the thing you got to remember, we got to hold on to the ball. We can't score if we don't hold on to the ball.
Ian Pemberton's fumbled there at the 26 of Southeast Missouri as the Govs were driving. Here is a fumble on the punt. Clendenin can't pull it in. Southeast Missouri is going to grab it, get it on a short field from the 19-yard line, and they go right to the end zone.
They do. And, again, we dig a hole for ourselves after this punt. And, you know, we made a mistake right there. Responsibilities I was talking about. And their big tailback, Terrell, he had a good day for him.
He punches it in from 19 out, PAT, and the new score is 38-7 at that point. And then you start coming back again through the air. Jake Ryan to Devin Stark.
There were some nice plays in this series. I think this really got started. We had a couple 4th down plays we made, and both of them it was Devin and Jake hooking up, and it was good. And I think Daryl Clack made a nice play on the sideline. But this was a 4th down play right here, and we were just trying to get the ball to the first down, and they made a mistake in coverage.
Yeah, and Devin's wide open, 22-yard touchdown. Stansel's PAT, 38-14 at this point in the ball game.
Yeah, and we're starting to get some rhythm. And when you get some rhythm on offense, then things happen pretty good for you.
They tack on a field goal. It's 41-14 when Rico breaks off this 26-yard touchdown run. And, again, you're knocking on the door.
A little light on his feet right there. He made some nice moves, and I think it kind of surprised him, a guy that big.
41-21 as Stansel's PAT is good. You come back here. Jake Ryan, 47 yards to a wide open Devin Stark for the touchdown.
We just kind of double moved him on the side, and it was a quick throw and a nice play, and, you know, we didn't convert the extra point, though. That hurt us. That hurt us a little bit. Instead of being 2 scores and winning, we had 2 scores and tie.
And here's a big play. About 3 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
Rico's had a big night, just one of those fluke plays where the helmet hits the football. Brandon Span's going to pick it up and run 98 yards for a touchdown.
Unbelievable. The ball looked like it lay there for about 10 seconds before anybody knew where it was. And, you know, that's just one of those things. That's kind of the epitome of the season.
Yeah, and it was, you know, you hate it for Rico, and we're going to have a visit with him in just a moment. Right after the game, we caught up with him. But Rico had an incredible night. Just one of those crazy plays. He's not completely secured the football, put it away, but when that helmet hits the ball, there's not a lot you can do. If it's just a freak play, the timing perfectly, nobody could see it except a Span who picked it up. And by the time anyone realized, I mean, he's 20 yards down the field.
Exactly. And, you know, I hate it for Rico because he did have such a good night catching in, running the ball, and he was just trying to get into the end zone. And so it's one of those things. That
would have got you within 1 score if he's able to punch it in. We did catch up with 2 of the offensive stars of the game, and let's visit with them now, Devin Stark and Rico Williams.
It was pretty good, but to me it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough to win. So overall, it was okay. Well, when we got in the locker room, we all got together as a team and let the first half be the pass, and we had to work on the second half. Just got to focus and play to win. Just got to play to win. Finish out the game.
I mean, I prepared for it all week. You know, we had a bye week last week, so worked hard for 2 weeks straight. Came out here, tried to do my best. I think I did pretty good. It's, you know, the line, they just, you know, we kept each other up the whole game. We was down in the score, but they kept me moving. I kept them moving, and we just had a good time. Well, usually it's like, you know, we got to start well and finish, you know, the whole game. We didn't start good, and then at halftime, I guess, we tried to rally some points up, and it was a little too late. But, you know, it's when we're in the locker room, you know, you really got to ask yourself that question. Like, we have pride in this school, and we got to show it out there. And I think we went out there, did a good job, and everybody executed everything well, and Jake Ryan got us going. Yeah, we are. I mean, we just not got our defense, you know, they were doing their best out there today. Our offense, we're finally turning around, getting some yards, and we're going to get a win.
Rico finished with 133 yards and a touchdown. Devin Stark, 9 catches on the day, 145 yards and 2 scores as both those young men played a great game. Just came up short as Southeast Missouri wins at 48-27. We'll wrap up the show after this on Govs Insider.
Was your budget ready for the rising gas prices? Was your car fuel efficient? Don't let unpredictable utility rates catch you off guard. Gas and electric rates have increased over 25% in the last 5 years. Will you be ready for the next increase?
Dawson Heating and Cooling knows energy prices are unpredictable. Count on Lennox products from Dawson and save. Dawson, where quality matters since 1972. Get up to $13.75 in rebates or special financing.
You can only learn so much from listening to lecture. That's why our professors invite students to work with them outside the classroom. From finding solutions to biofuel problems that limit green energy potential, to developing a mobile app that lets first responders use cell phones to document the damage of disasters, to curating art shows with world-class creatives who share their New York know-how in the classroom and in the Big Apple. Our students enjoy the kinds of opportunities here that lead to more opportunities out there. Austin Peay State University.
Psychiatric Consultants of Tennessee, providing the Fort Campbell, Clarksville area with comprehensive, compassionate, and professional care. We provide medication management and counseling for all ages. At Psychiatric Consultants, most major insurance is accepted, including Medicare, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and TRICARE. Psychiatric Consultants of Tennessee. Call 931-221-9990.
Hi, this is Peg from Herb Hayes Furniture, here to help you beat the madness with pre-Black Friday savings. Sofa and love seat or sectional, reclining sofas, recliners, furniture for TV and media. At Herb Hayes Furniture, beat the dining room madness. Pre-Black Friday savings on Sealy mattress sets. And register to win a $2,000 shopping spree. Beat the madness with pre-Black Friday savings. Herb Hayes Furniture, Hopkinsville.
And welcome back, Coach. It's Culver Stockton this week. An NAIA opponent will come into Gov Stadium as you're down to the final 3 games of the year, 2 of those 3 at home, and you get back-to-back home games. It's going to be odd this week taking on this opponent, the Wildcats.
Barry, I'll be real honest with you. We all thought we were going to Jacksonville State this week. So to be at home 2 weeks in a row is unusual, and we're our players are kind of looking forward to it, and hopefully we can do that.
Culver Stockton, they are an NAIA program out of Canton, Missouri. They come in on the season at 1-8. They're giving up about 41 points a game, scoring 15 contests. So this is a game, you look at it and you think, wow, how did this team get on the schedule? Where are they from? A lot of people think they're from California, but they're from Missouri. How does a game like this happen? Do you know anyone on that staff?
No, but it's unique that you said that some people thought it was from California. So, but we fished around. What you do when you're looking for a game, you call some different people and try to find out who's scheduling who. And it just so happened that both open dates kind of were together, and we were able to schedule this game.
And this is a game where you're focused on your team. You don't do a lot looking at these guys because you need a win.
We do. And, we're going to scout them and we're going to put our game plan together. But, like I do every week, we got to concern more about what Austin Peay does and do our game plan and make sure that we execute what we're trying to get done and get better at that. And that's at this point in the season. I heard somebody say the other day that they were still young. We are too, but we're not young anymore. You're in your eighth, ninth game of the season. You got to do better things.
And a lot of guys are beat up this point in the season, but you just have to fight through it as the Govs get set to take on the Wildcats of Culver Stockton. Again, that is a 1 o'clock kickoff this Saturday at Gov Stadium, so we invite you to get out there. Hopefully the weather will be nice. It won't be as windy as it was this past week and cold, but it's going to be a big ball game, 1 o'clock at Gov Stadium. We're going to have all the highlights of that matchup coming up right here next week on Govs Insider.